Hello you guys, welcome to The Corner, where we talk about anime, manga, and everything in between. Today we are talking about the latest episode of Dragon Ball Super. What happened in this episode of Dragon Ball Super? Well, they made a being that was impossible to destroy. Very impossible to destroy. They created Zamasu Immortal, who we thought was dead, and somehow, through a bunch of unknown reasons, started becoming the universe. Yeah. Well, I must say, it was pretty interesting that a god can relinquish his form even after he's been killed, pretty much. But I guess what ended up happening is, instead of him keeping his mortal body because he was immortal and refusing with himself, he dispersed his body. That's the only thing I can think of. That's how I can think of it right then and there. Because it does not make sense to me otherwise. But, on top of that, we have Goku summoning the future god of everything. Zamo, I think his name is, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. I'm just going to call him the god of everything until I get that name down. Anyways. So, he summons him with the button, which actually does work in the future timeline, and from what was said, he doesn't even recognize Goku. So, the theory of him being the one person around all the timelines is not correct. But, there is plenty of other things going on there, and Goku brings him to their timeline, and he gives his god of everything a friend to play with after this point. So, this is something that becomes interesting. I mean, beforehand, Goku, he destroyed the universe itself after that point, because Zamasu was becoming the universe, and he was there. Goku summoned him to destroy Zamasu, but Zamasu was becoming the universe, and he's like, this is not right. It's going to be God now. I don't like it. Boom. And next thing you know, he has not just destroyed the Universe 7, but Universe 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the universes, and he was just laying out there in space, which means he can't die easily. But it looks like Trunks which, by the way, May be, how old is May by the future timeline? And 2, May herself should not have grown up with Trunks in any way, shape, or form. It's making me feel like May had asked for eternal youth and in her prime, and her prime is always there. But she would never have been brought to a kid unless she was in present form. So the present that we have, they got wished into kids, and that's what made them who they are. And May grows up with Trunks after that point. But in the future timeline, May didn't have that probability. So what has May done? What's their internal youth thing? Do I need to look back on Dragon Ball to find this out? Because this is something that I am very curious about at this moment in time. If you guys know, let me know. I mean, it'd be nice to find out for some odd reason. May should not be that young, but if she has eternal youth, it makes sense as long as it's eternal youth in her prime type of situation. Now, if we move on to what happens towards the end, Beerus and which say that they can save the timeline, but it would create another ring, and that ring, and they would be living in a universe counterparted to themselves. So that happens right there. Other than that, they can go back to their original timeline. So they choose to do that and are on their way. Which, by the way, you learned something in this episode. Whis' father is a hand to the Omni King. So yeah, Whis. That showed that Whis was born into the world by somebody, right? Anyways, So we did find that out as well in this episode. So between Zamasu causing a universal rift through time itself as well, to Wish's father, it was just one productive episode at a time. What I liked about this episode was it had a pretty good flow to it and stuff, but it could get to that point of they made a infinite being and they cannot kill it. They had to get the god of everything to erase it. So yeah, yeah. I don't know, but I feel a little ripped on that part. Not because it's just because it just seemed like they overpowered Damasu and knew they overpowered it and had drawn themselves in the corner and finally used the button. But they had the button. It seemed like they had this already figured out on how they were going to do this in the first place. But whatever happens, I guess. There it was pretty interesting on what ended up taking place. The destruction of the universe was great. It was interesting. Stuff like that. Storyline had great flow to it, I guess, like I've said. The art didn't seem to flay. They've gotten better and better as time goes on when it comes down to making sure the episode is working well. Oh, yeah. Other than that, there is some implausibilities, holes, and some things that we'll talk about. Now, the next episode, though, apparently Goku gathers the Dragon Balls to give King Kai a wish, but apparently everybody else wants to take a wish. I mean, the dragon has 2 wishes now, so he can still wish back King Kai, and then have them fight amongst each other for the second wish. I mean, that makes sense. So I guess I'm going to look forward to that next episode. It looks like it might just be something to have fun with and enjoy until like a little segue before they hit the next part of the series. So we'll figure that out, won't we? But unless the next part, which I haven't looked ahead, I haven't read ahead, so I'm not too sure. I've just been doing this episode by episode. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, comment, let me know of your thoughts on this episode as well, and I'll talk with you guys back and forth about the episode, and we'll see where it goes. On top of that, hit that subscribe button. Let's have some fun and promote me a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. It's all up to you guys. I really don't care. I'm just happy to have the subscribers I do. Anyways. But until the next time, I hope you guys have a great day and a fun one as well.